And I said, you know what? I'll take whatever comes my way. So I would encourage you to do that also. Once you, as you go along, you finish. When you go outside there, you have your expectation, but take whatever comes your way. So that's what I did. I began my career 2005 in the flower industry. Okay? That time when I was going in, I was feeling, I don't like this industry, why am I working here? There was a bit of a negative perception in regards to the flower industry. But I said, you know what, I'll go in. So I went in, quite young, and I started. You know the ones, mpaka huku nyuma, they are protruding. You guys, you don't know those ones. I think you found the others. We just had one. There were even cobwebs. And I was like, what the hell? Do these people know I'm a lady and I'm an engineer? I've studied for 5 years. I passed. So anyway, we started. So I realized the world isn't exactly what you figure it to be when you're a student. And you need to adjust. So I had to adjust. And in 3 weeks' time after I joined, my boss had to go for a 3 weeks course. So I was left new, okay, in charge of safety and health for that organization. And people would call and say, can you advise us? We have someone here who is injured. Can you advise? And I would say, hold on, just give me a moment. I would take the books and start reading and flip through. So I had to learn very early. So one of the jobs we would do when we arrived at work in the morning, because I said our office was after everything, is clean our own office. We used to have turns. So if my boss arrives first, she would clean. If I came first, I would clean. So that's where I started. Okay? So one of the things I want to tell you, which I would tell my 20-year-old, is be open. Be open. When you get outside there, start doing whatever you can. It pays off. When you hear that word, when you go outside there to the world, and you're told you're too young, after you do your pity party kidogo, you cry, read. That's what I did, read. I read everything that was available in my subject matter, which was safety, health, and environment. I read. I became competent. My goodness. They were shocked. The guy they brought, sorry guys, he was struggling. I would go even to the extent of typing his email and tell him just send. So of course it didn't last, it didn't even last a year. So I was just waiting calmly. I had learned a few lessons, not to really go, forceful in boardrooms, fight with the men. So I had calmed down a bit, my energy. So of course when he left, I took over. As ladies here, please, when you go outside there, you have an opportunity. Hold the other female's hand, the other woman's hand. They go through a lot of stuff because they have to work late and all those sort of things. So I feel very privileged having held that position for close to 7 years because I was really able to connect with them. Make sure you have the right reasons for your moving. So I looked around and I got called to an interview in Mombasa, excited, everything, and I went for the interview, did well. I actually knew the guy who was there as the HR, so I was telling myself, I got this. These are walk in the park. So I did well and all that. Then they called me. They told me, we are sorry, we couldn't hire you. I was like, why? Hey. The way I'm bringing experience, female engineer with all this experience. Then they told me, you are a woman. How are you going to deal with all these men at the coast region? They have perceptions about women. How are you going to influence them? And I was like, hey, okay. So, and what I did tell you at the beginning is like, you see this size I am? That time I think I was like half this size. So I think they looked at me, they was like, this little girl, what is she going to tell this lady, these men at the coast? So I went back home to Nairobi feeling bad, cried for a few days. Then I said, you know what? I'll invest more in myself. So I decided to do my master's. So any challenge you face there, turn it into an opportunity for you. Because I will not lie to you and tell you that once you get out of here, you finish, you're going to get everything smooth. And unfortunately, we have not hit that place where Rhoda was describing. You know, that gender equality. We've not hit it yet. When we sat as a team, senior managers meeting, we were just 2 females. Everybody else was a man. And then you start to learn, they speak louder than you can't shout more than them. So you really have to speak when it's necessary. And when you know you have the point. Because once they learn that so-and-so, when she speaks sense. The minute you go to speak, they give you the opportunity. So I had to learn that. Otherwise, before I just used to try and shout more than them, then I realized that doesn't work. So as you go outside there, especially as young girls, you have to learn that. Your online presence is very powerful. Positively, okay? What you're posting there has to reflect the woman you are or you want to become. Because most organizations these days will refer to that profile. So if they go to that profile and they're seeing, you know those photos, some of them, you know them, you might want to review today and remove a few. So that's how EABL found me. They went on LinkedIn, they saw my profile and they called me. So you need to really have a very good profile for yourself on LinkedIn. What are your passion, what do you believe in, and all those sort of things, your career aspirations, and of course the other things, because they'll search even on Facebook. You know, these days you just type someone's name on Google and it will bring everything about them. All right, so that's another thing, yeah? Just say yes. Just say yes, then those are the things you deal with them later. Okay? Yes first, then you deal with them. So at that point I said, let me think about it. So I think they saw my lack of enthusiasm and I did not get to do the position. After a while, about another 6 months, then they asked me, because they were leaning out and, you know, becoming better structured, can you handle the environment docket? That time I said yes. My self-doubt was going away because I started to look at my self-worth. There will come a point in your life where those doubts will come. It could be in your family life, it could be at your career. You have to sit down and do that. You talk to yourself in a nice, quiet place so that you can realize your worth. That will give you back your confidence so that you are able to move on. The reason I'm saying that women are more impacted by the self-doubts and lowering our worth is because sometimes we are not sure that as women we should be go-getters, is it? Actually, that name can have a bit of a negative connotation, yeah? But we actually should be positively. And that is why when women apply for jobs, research has shown that if a woman looks at a job advertisement and she sees she has 8 out of 10 or 9 of 10 of the qualifications, does she apply? No. They don't. Imagine. Okay? So please take these learnings I'm telling you so that you don't make the same mistakes as we did as women in our era or age. So if you realize something has been advertised, you have a few of them, go for it. A man will look at the same he has 1 or 2. Hey, immediately. Yeah, men, immediately. Believe yourself and go and get it. And you must chart your own path. In between here, you will realize that's when you get married, you have children. Don't feel pressure. There is nowhere that it is written, either biblically or in any other book that we know that at 23 years old you get your first child, at 26, is it written? No. It is not written anywhere. Those notions are existing in our heads. In our heads. Yeah, so because it can reach a certain age and you are like, especially for us career women, it's something that comes up. Like, hey, at you are 33, hujaolewa, then people start looking at you from a different perspective. I had a friend who was coming from a different community, and they had to sit down. True story. Those days, you may not relate, but it was very serious. So what am I telling you? What I would tell my 20-year-old self as a lady is chart your own path. Chart your own path. You don't have to do what anybody else is doing. You don't have to fit into anybody else's path. I came to a point as a woman, and I told myself, enough of trying to fit in, trying to do things the way everybody is doing. And I said, going forward, Margaret, I will do things as Margaret, whether the world likes it or not. But remember, you have to do it positively. Not putting the men down, not putting any other woman down, but as you chart your path, walk with others. Thank you very much.
Yeah, to represent 285,000